Hello and welcome to Artigan Flight 001. This is your captain speaking. If you are traveling through another dimension, you are in the right seat. A dimension not only of sight and sound and mind, but a journey into a wondrous new vibratory frequency. We'd now like to tell you about some important safety features of this aircraft. The most important safety feature we have aboard this aircraft is your attention. Please buckle up, everyone. It is going to be a thrilling ride.
Hello, darlings. Welcome to another beautiful week of life. Welcome to this week's Psychic Astrology. I am your Madame President of the Artigan and your favorite witchy Auntie Natalie, spelled Natalee. It is so good, and I'm so excited to share this with you because the downloads that I'm getting as I'm tuning into these vibrational frequencies, as I'm tuning into these astrological aspects, the information I'm getting from the universal consciousness matrix is phenomenal. I'm so excited about my TikTok. I'm doing the gateway process over there. So everything's available for download for free on the website, theartigan.com/CIA. So if you guys want to read those docs, do the tapes yourself, it's all over there. Anyway. Yeah, so it's really, I enjoy it because it explains the physics behind how I do my psychic work, and it's interesting because I wanted to do all these experiments and do all of these things, proving psychic ability and demonstrating psychic ability, and it's just so satisfying that there's like already so much documentation, especially from the United States government, the CIA, that had commissioned the Monroe Institute of Applied Sciences to do all of this research. So anyway, all right. I'm on TikTok, watch Natalie, if you guys are like into that or into, discovering more of like why this works, how it works, and like what I'm doing. So I'm going to probably layer it into like I kind of just did right there. Anyway, so getting back into the astrology for this week. So we have a lot going on. We have the nodal connection. We have Venus conjuncting the North Node. We have the quarter moon, the first quarter moon waxing in light, gaining in light, quarter moon in Leo. We have the sun shifting from Taurus season into Gemini season. We have some squares to Jupiter and Neptune, and then we have Saturn stationing retrograde. So let's jump right in. Monday, the 17th of May, we have Venus conjuncting the North Node in Gemini. We also have on Monday, the moon sextiling Venus, squaring Uranus, and opposing Saturn. So the moon is going to be in Leo after 5:43 a.m. Pacific time. What I'm getting tuning into this, and I'm picking up the biggest energies of the week, the nuances you'll get on the Patreon. It's the lowest tier, and I do a daily bulletin, an Artigan daily bulletin, where I do daily astrology and a daily tarot. So that's where you get like the full, in depth and everything. But Monday the 17th, what I'm getting tuning into this energy, your heart knows the path. So Gemini is going to be giving us a lot of options. We're going to love to bounce ideas back and forth. There's going to be choices and different paths, especially in regards to people, because every person, every relationship, that's a path. That's a path that has this specific characteristic. It's going to look a certain way. I'm getting big fish. So it's like, this relationship, that relationship's going to take you down different, some's going to be a little scary and overgrown with all these barnacle-y branches, and some are going to be really light and bright and beautiful and sunny and rainbows and butterflies. So it's kind of what I'm getting with Monday, is that Venus conjuncting the North Node that's in Gemini right now. Yes, there will be options, and yes, there will be choices, but your heart knows the right one. Your heart knows what is for you. Your heart knows where it's being led. The heart also has brain cells in it, and the heart also has a lot of information and a lot of electromagnetic information that gets sent from your heart to the brain. Sorry, I'm trying not to get so digressing of everything that I've been learning off of. Anyway, the heart and the brain, it's a wonderful blend. Actually, it's pretty perfect because we have Venus, the heart, and then we have Geminian energy, the brain. and information and neuronal pathways. So it's a great day to listen to your heart, because your heart is going to just show you and orient and point you towards what you already feel, what you already know. So it could be a great day for your mind to get on board with your heart, for your consciousness to accept and be able to perceive what your heart is trying to say. Only when we can perceive the holographic images from the universal holograph, that is when we are able to get the download or understand the transmission. Our brains will only pick up as much as we'll be able to perceive, only as much as we'll be able to kind of like accept. Okay, so this is what I'm getting with that, is that Venus is trying to tell you something. Venus is trying to say, you know, and so listen to that, because it's important. Sorry, I'm distracted now. It's important to have this balance between the heart and the mind, okay? It is important to have that balance. However, you will have to know, and I'm actually getting this also from Sunday with the Sun in Taurus trining Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. So you're coming off of the weekend in a very empowered energy anyway. Like, you are already in this energy of, I can do this. I am, okay, here's what I want to take. Here's what I want you to say. Okay, what I'm getting for Sunday. Start alone. Clear off the decks, everything. Go clear it all away. Go back to you being alone, truly alone in this world. And that's not a depressing thing. That's not a sad thing. That's not a self-pity thing. That's not, you know, it does make us feel alienated. It makes us feel, you know, loveless. It makes us feel a lack when we think that way for so long, especially when we are at a crowded party and our spouse is ignoring us, or, you know, when our parents are rejecting us, or whenever we're feeling alone and alienated, it's usually a negative, sad, depressing, self-pitying type of energy. However, what I'm getting with this Sun trining Pluto is that this is the whole point of why I'm here to help you guys, is to empower you, to empower yourself with the spiritual power, the spiritual courage. When I say alchemize, remember, I'm replacing alchemize with the word transform. So you are transforming that feeling that, okay, if I think to myself, I'm alone in this universe, I feel the cold shiver of alienation. No, we're going to transform that. We're going to transform the feeling with that thought into empowerment, into a positive, into something that fills you with confidence, because it's still the truth. Yes, we have families and lovers and children and you know, positive working relationships and creative passion projects and things that give us meaning and fulfill, all of that in connection with other people. We do, yes, and it's part of how we work out karma here and on Earth. However, the truth remains that you're going to die alone. I'm going to die. Like, we're all going to die alone. And not to say that this is like this big, heavy, dark thought. I want to normalize this death process. I have a great TikTok about what happens after we die. So make sure to go check that out. It's a little bit earlier before all the gateway stuff. So what I'm getting at is, when I say start alone, anything that's bothering you, anything that is stressing you out, anything that is making you feel insecure, afraid, lonely, disenfranchised, disempowered, remove all of that, throw all of that away, and come back to the truth that it's just you. And that's a beautiful thing, because when you start alone, you release everyone and everything of your expectations. Release these relationships that you're in, of these expectations that you want them to be a certain person, act a certain way, behave a certain way for you, for the connection. Release them of that burden. Release yourself of that disappointment, of having and shouldering that expectation. Start alone, okay? Release these expectations and repeat the truth to yourself. Whatever truth that you need to be reminded of, whether that it's you are truly empowered, that you are strong, that you are beautiful, that you are valuable, that you are magical, whatever it is, you keep repeating that to yourself. Because being alone in the universe is a beautiful thing. And it's why we've incarnated into human form, to be able to experience our unique individualism and to go through the process of individuation and maturation to evolve spiritually. We're the only ones on earth that incarnate forgetting everything, forgetting our spiritual truths, forgetting where we came from, forgetting what we really are. We're the only ones. It's terrifying that we're all born with this kind of amnesia. And psychics and sensitive people and people that, if you're remembering your past lives, that's a bit of a higher frequency. So there's more responsibility there, because you're going to have traumatic experiences. You're going to have all kinds of things coming up in your life that are going to bring you back to it. I'm a perfect example of this with this YouTube channel and everything that I'm doing. It was one of my biggest, deepest, darkest secrets. Would have never told anyone, would have never talked about it. It was just a part of my life, a big part of my life that I just wanted to just like talk about. But it caught up with me in a way that I just could not. It was its time. It was time for me to share it. It was time for me to empower other people. It was time for me to deliver messages to people that needed the messages, because I'm a conduit of this information. It's a responsibility. It's responsibility. So with Sun trining Pluto retrograde, you could be in this energy of confidence, self-empowerment from the past, or coming off of something that you've been trying to learn, maybe since 2008. So coming into Monday, whatever it is, whatever's bothering you, and you haven't, that click hasn't happened with this trine energy, let it click after watching this, or as we're doing this energy work right now, let it click that you are alone in the universe, and that's okay. It's a beautiful thing. And then release these expectations, knowing that of other people, because that's true for them too. They're alone in this universe. They're on their own soul's journey, soul's evolutionary path. Because the big truth is that we're all just oscillating energy fields, interacting with other oscillating energy fields. So there really is no separation. I know 2 things can be true at once. You, in this consciousness, in this incarnation, you have a physical body. You're alone in the universe in that respect. You are also connected with everything and everyone in such layered complexity that it's artistic and beautiful. Okay, so this is very Pisces. I'm talking so Jupiter and Pisces right now. I feel it. So this is Geminian as well, actually. Gemini has 2 thoughts at the same time. This is cognitive dissonance too, actually. And Gemini wants to believe both things, but how does Gemini integrate that? How does Gemini reconcile the cognitive dissonance? How does Gemini get what it wants both ways without being duplicitous, without lying, without hurting other people, without lying to themselves? So that's what you will want to figure out too. Being at one with everything and feeling connected to everything and everyone and every other little oscillating energy grid, while also maintaining your own personal boundaries, your self-confidence, and your own individuation, your own unique signature as a soul, your soul's signature. Okay? Okay. Monday, back to Monday. Venus conjuncting the North Node. What is your heart telling you? Your heart knows the path. This could be a relationship. This could be an idea. This can be a conversation. Keep an eye on Monday, Tuesday, because that energy is still unfolding for those 2 days, okay? There's even information coming in on your path through relationships. And the feelings that you have in response to whatever goes on over these 2 days is going to be what informs you. So just pay attention. You're not going to miss it. All you can do is ignore it and suppress it, put it down, try to gaslight yourself, talk yourself out of it. And you may just try to maintain that cognitive dissonance. You may just try to hold two ideas at the same time, but shut yourself off from the one that's uncomfortable. Okay? That brings us to Wednesday, the quarter moon in Leo, the waxing, gaining in light quarter moon. This is when the moon squares the sun. This is when there's what we call a crisis in action. And all that means is it's a bit of a pressured time where you have to make a decision. You have to do something. You have to commit to something. You have to, yes, no, go, no go type of response. Also that day, it's the last day of the sun in Taurus. So it's dramatic. It's also the day that the moon in Virgo will oppose Jupiter in Pisces. And it's also the day that Venus that just connected with the North Node, the true path, is trining Saturn in Aquarius. It's a big day Wednesday. Wednesday is a circle Wednesday because something's going on Wednesday that is going to further, but it's in action. Whereas Sunday, Monday, Tuesday could be something something you're talking about, something that is being informed from within, from your heart, from conversations, from relationships. It's Wednesday, Thursday that gets put on its feet and walks around in action. Okay? So what actions will you be taking on Wednesday, Thursday? What I'm getting, tuning into this psychically for Wednesday, I'm getting an act of confidence to commit. These are fixed signs. Fixed signs just want to keep the sameness, keep something together. It's not adapting. It's not leading. It's like, let's just keep more of the same. Let's just keep more of what we know, what we like. So the fact that the sun in Taurus and the moon in Leo is this first quarter moon, this crisis in action, it's saying that something's got to give. Something has to change in order for something to continue. So take the new moon on the 11th, on Tuesday, May 11th. What was beginning? What was starting? What was trying to grow? It's that little seedling. It's like, but remember, you don't dig up in the dirt looking for that little seedling to see how it's doing. This quarter moon is like, okay, there's a storm, there's a harsh wind, there's something, threatening that little seedling. And you can make the choice to support it, allow it to grow, build it stronger, so it can grow into a big, strong tree that will just maintain itself, defend itself, or you let it go. The opportunity passes, and you buckle under some sort of pressure because it's us internally. And what I'm getting with this is that the act of confidence to commit is coming from the Leo moon. It's coming from, now think of what Leo rules. Leo rules entertainment, glamour, forms of beauty. There's a lot and confidence, like self-confidence, the lion, the mane, like all of that. So this confidence is coming from that. It's coming from this emotional need to show what you can do, to show what you're made of, to prove yourself in a sense. So while that Taurus sun may be like, you know what, let's just keep everything the way it is, status quo. Let's just kill the new seed that's trying to start. Let's just, whatever. This Leo moon is like, no. Let's go for it. Let's go for it and just be the biggest, boldest, most beautiful. It's the sun. Leo is ruled by the sun. So it's got extra power because the sun's in Taurus. Okay, so this Leo first quarter moon is like screaming for like attention and this is why I love singers and I love watching performance. I don't want to be on the stage. I want to watch this. When I was acting, I was a film actor. I was not like, I could not bear. I don't even, I mean, I don't even want to like get married in front of people like that. I just don't. It's the whole live thing. It just freaks me out. So, but I love watching and supporting singers. And so, because you can just, the energy is just, it just goes across the whole area. And that's what Leo is, and that's what Leo needs. And this Leo moon is an emotional need to show everyone in this room what we can do. So what are you feeling? And that's the root of the self-confidence, is that it rules talent, it rules the arts and all of that. So look at this Leo area in your life, because this is where you are wanting to make this adjustment in order to show your unique individual beauty, your unique individual talent, whatever that happens to be. If it's relationships, if you have Leo on your 7th house and you want to shine in your relationships, if it is Leo in your 5th house and it's very artistic, or it's with your children and you want your children to just shine so bright and you want them to do so well, that's where the adjustment comes in. And the adjustment comes in, you will be confident, you will be feeling very confident to do this in order to commit to something, because there's a commitment that you've got to make. And this commitment is going to show your confidence and vice versa. So it's going to be really beautiful, because this Venus in Gemini trining Saturn in Aquarius, they're very mental energies. They're very social energies, because Aquarius is about the people, your people. Gemini, it's very, very it's very successful for building relationships and for building long-term, long-lasting relationships, or solidifying, or, you know, if you're with someone for a long time, retooling it to be even stronger, but finding a new way to do that, finding, you know, reinvigorating the relationship in some way, shape, or form, invigorating it with a something fresh to make it ultimately last very, very long time. It's power from the support. It's power from the support of your people or your ideas, because it's, like I said, it's very mental energy. So there's a lot that's coming down on Wednesday, and it's a big deal because of the total lunar supermoon blood freaking eclipse that's happening a week from Tuesday on May 26th. That's a big one. It's happening in Sagittarius. It's an energy. I wrote a little tag that sums it all up. Either adapt and adjust, or reject and run. People will be choosing one or the other. There's a T-square. There's this gnarly opposition between Pluto and Mars in Cancer. Oh my God. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be very intense. So this quarter moon is a major turn. This would be like you plant your little seed in the dirt May 11th, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna water it. I'm gonna, you know, maybe I'll sing to it. One of my favorite movies, thank you to my mother, is On a Clear Day You Can See Forever with Barbra Streisand. I've seen that movie so many times growing up. Anyway, she sings to her plants and they just grow. My mother's a Virgo. So, and then you get to Wednesday, the 19th, the quarter moon in Leo. This is when maybe you start to really sing to this plant, to this little seedling. Maybe you just get really Leo dramatic with it, and you put on like this big performance, and it's energy work, it's spell work, and you're infusing your energies. Okay, it's like freaking Miracle Grow, these oscillating energy grids, and you're focusing your attention in the lasers and the holograms and like all of that. Okay, that would be like if the lunar eclipse on the 26th, it turns into a freaking giant Beetlejuice plant. Like it just turns into some super huge Marvel superhero freaking mutant plant that just, like, you open the door and it's taken over the entire house. Like you had no idea that your manifestation was working that well. You had no idea that your manifestation was, wow, like singing to, because you weren't knowing what was happening under the surface. Because you're watering it, you're singing to it, and it gets more and more, and you get more into it, and then all of a sudden you're putting on this like 2-hour show every night singing to this like pot of dirt, right? And then you wake up the morning of the eclipse and you're like, it's just this big thing. So this quarter moon could be the point where you just get all into it, where you're just like, you know what, I'm going to jump into this and I'm just going to be the best plant mommy ever. And even if it's just a pot of dirt, you'll be so surprised. Okay. Anyway, that's what I'm getting for Wednesday, the 19th. There's a commitment, but I feel like it's such a confidence infused commitment. It's really divinely supported with this opposition from the moon in, afterwards, with the moon in Virgo opposing Jupiter and Pisces. So it's got this dreamy quality, but it's measured. It's like confidence. There's glamour, there's idealism, spirituality, creativity, and it's balanced with this moon in Virgo energy the later part of the day, which is more calculating and more, it's critical, but just the right amount. It's the right amount of critical where it's measured, and like you won't go off the deep end with it. It's a really nice energy, and especially with Venus and Saturn. Venus, Saturn in the natal chart, if it's a positive aspect, it's someone that grows more beautiful the older they get. So that's how you can think of this, is there's something happening. Whatever you're doing, it's whatever you put your focus on. Wherever you put your focus, that energy grows. It's part of how I tune into my querents, and when I'm doing readings, is my focus and my energy. It's like, I think people call it hyper focus, is like an actual term. I didn't know that was a real term. I thought it was just regular focus, but it's like tunnel vision. And when that's happening with me, that's when I'm getting into those energy grids, and I'm getting the transmissions, the energetic transmissions from the universal hologram. And that is because I'm in such a calm state that I'm vibrating with the Earth's electromagnetic, electrostatic fields and energy frequencies. It's a carrier wave that goes all around the Earth, and like in a freaking nanosecond, you can get that information. It's all in it's all on my TikTok. It's all on the Gateway Experience. It's all in the document. You can look it up yourself. Anyway, so Venus trining Saturn. So whatever you are focusing on and building and putting your energy into, that is going to grow more beautiful over time, more stable, more prosperous. So this is relationships, this is money, this is value, this is, relationships, money, wealth, abundance, and the value of it. The value that big monster plant could go on to like give you all the seeds that you can make more plants and just have a ball. Okay. So that's Wednesday. Wow. And then on Thursday, this is when the sun moves into Gemini. Right after that, we have that 0-degree Gemini sun squaring Jupiter in Pisces. We also have the moon squaring Venus in Gemini and sextiling Mars in Cancer. And then we have the moon squaring Mercury in Gemini. Okay. So another reason why this quarter moon was such a big deal is because the sun was like in the last decan of Taurus, finishing up something major. So on one hand, it's like you're taking that fertilizer, you're taking something that you've already put into, you've already built it up, but it's like, it's done, it's dying, it's on its way out, and you're using it to repurpose for something new that you're creating for yourself, putting that in the new potting soil for the new plant, using it to fire you up for this next thing. It's really, really poetic and beautiful. The universe is extremely poetic and beautiful. So when the sun is in Gemini, oh my God, like this is really, the focus shifts. There's an energy shift. And while we were wanting to just eat things that were so tasty and wear things that are just comfortable, in Taurus season, it's all about like what feels good, what's comfortable. I know what I like. I know what I want. I just want what I want. Gemini, once the sun shifts into Gemini, we're ready to explore. We're ready to be more active, be more mobile. We're ready to entertain different ideas. We're ready to explore different options. We're ready to bounce these ideas more and more. So we've been in layers and layers and slow layers since, maybe May 3rd when Mercury entered Gemini. It's been slowly building. And so now when the sun moves into Gemini, this is the focus now. This is the new thing. It's a new thing. And in this square to Jupiter in Pisces, what I got tuning into this, resonantly tuning into this, you're picking up something from the past and seeing something new in it that is sparkly and glittery and shiny and beautiful and ethereal and golden and inspiring. Okay, I'm getting that. That's what I'm getting. It's this connection between the moon and Mercury, which is in the shadow. So, yes, it's in the shadow. So more and more, the past, something from the past, either an ideology, a project, a relationship, a person, a situation, it's going to be getting bigger and bigger in your life that you're going to have to deal with more and more. Okay, so over this whole past week, since the 15th, you will be going through this all again later because Mercury makes 3 passes. The shadow, retrograde, direct. Okay, so it's like a whole thing. It's a whole cycle. So whatever's going on this week, you're gonna have more thoughts about it when we get there. We'll get there. But for Thursday, you're picking up something from the past. You're looking at it. And that's why this sun is illuminating it. It's showing you more of these options, more of these pathways, more of these ideas, people, relationship situations, whatever it is in the Geminian area of your life. And in this square to Jupiter freaking Pisces, it's giving you a lot of detail. That's what I'm getting with this. I'm getting that there's a lot of detail and there's a lot of inspiration. And Jupiter and Pisces, it's how we focus these energies, how we're using these energies. Okay, so what's coming up for you can be creative, spiritual, inspirational, creative. It could be, but for other people, it could be drugs and alcohol and self-delusion, cognitive dissonance. So for those of us, and we're all here, so when I say those expressions, I'm talking about the people that you're going to have to deal with in your life, that are going to be making the choices to stay in a self-delusional place. That doesn't have to be your choice. That's another thing, is that you're on your own, and that's a beautiful thing because it releases you from expectations of what other people want you to be, look like, think like, behave like, do with your life, just as much as it releases you from your expectations of them. Okay? So when you operate in your own little ecosystem and you focus on your energies, your manifestations, your growth, your lane, and you find that you are your own mother, you are your own father, you are your own best friend, and you treat yourself that way, and you nurture yourself that way, and you encourage yourself that way, and you support yourself that way, you will find that the relationships that you do have in your life with your family, your friends, your coworkers, they will improve, they will become lighter, or you will just naturally fall away from certain people and you will be attracting different people into your life that are more representative of how you're treating yourself. Remember, we're never going to outperform our level of self-esteem. There's going to be some area of our life. Maybe we're very accomplished in career, but the personal life's a mess. Maybe we have a fine family life, but we have no career because we don't have the self-esteem to go get what we really want in our career, whatever it is. So that's that. That's what I'm going to say about that. So in the sun squaring sun squaring Jupiter, you're picking up something from the past. It's looking beautiful. It's just, expect your focus to be there. Expect your focus to be on taking in information, taking in ideas, taking in options for yourself and working on it. And your self-esteem is going to come from being open-minded, with the sun being in Gemini. You want to stay away from making judgments. You guys hear me preach about this all the time, that we would rather understand than judge, because when you judge, you shut down your growth. When you judge, you shut down that individuation. You shut down your evolution. And that's the only reason why we're here, is to learn and evolve. We all have different karma. We all have different lessons to learn and different timelines to learn it. So with the sun squaring Jupiter, expect to feel really positive, optimistic. I was going to say optimistic. Feel really positive and optimistic. And it's because you're seeing something already from the past. You're already seeing it in a different light, and you're already feeling really positive about it. Okay. That brings me to Saturday, the 22nd. This is when we have Mercury in Gemini at 22 degrees, squaring Neptune in Pisces at 22 degrees. We also have the sun trining Saturn and trining Venus in Gemini. The moon's going to be in Libra. Moon's going to be in Libra by Saturday. And so that Libra moon is going to want to be diplomatic and sociable and tactful and beautiful and just facilitate positive connecting. Oozing intelligence. So it's beautiful. It's really, in trining Saturn and Venus, this is like, whatever's plan Saturday, because Saturday's going to be good. Saturday's going to be really, really beautiful because of that, because of this grand air trine. It's really great for communicating, relating, speaking, and even with Mercury squaring Neptune. No, I do give you the heads up that for some people, this will definitely be a miscommunication. This could be genuine miscommunication where you really thought they said something or they thought you said something and it just wasn't the case. Very honest mistakes. Also, deceptions and lies could come to the surface of attention at this time. If anything had been deceptive, if anything had been misrepresented on purpose or omitted on purpose, all of those little weird ways that people lie and stuff, that could be coming out, of course. However, because the moon is so happy that day, what I'm getting tuning into this now, psychically tuning into this, what I got, so many details, like a lot of details, so many details that make you happy. And what I'm getting is to sort through them with a confident, self-empowered attitude. So it could be a lot of a good thing. You could be getting so many details and so many options where before you thought it was narrow. You thought there was nowhere else to go. There was no other way it could be. It was, really, really stuck. This could blow that open. This could really. So again, there's really great energy for stability because the moon is making this contact with both Saturn and Venus. So there could be something coming from Wednesday being carried forward on Saturday again as well. So Saturday still looks great. I will say to plan to relax, do something. If you're relating to people, anything that you're doing, just like relax into it, because anything with Neptune could just drain us of energy. And so just plan for that. Stay very hydrated, okay? Okay, and that brings me to, give me a second here. One more thing about Wednesday, about the quarter moon, is the values. That Leo quarter moon is going to know what you value yourself, your self-confidence. So you will want to show and prove your self-value. You will want to show how much you value yourself and how much you like the same. I'm getting singers, but like if you know you have a wonderful, beautiful voice and you share that with the world, you start your TikTok account, you put it on YouTube, you're showing the world that you value your ability and your talent and that you are going to share it with other people in a positive, confident way. And that's that. And that's all there is to it. So, okay. And then oh, that's right. Okay, so also on the 20th, okay, so Sun moving into Gemini, squaring Jupiter. There could be a lot that we've got to do over as well. So if you have to, if you are picking something up from the past, there may be a lot of content. There may be a lot there in a relationship. It's like, oh my God, we have to start from scratch. We have to do this whole thing over. A project or a situation, a job, anything. There may just be a lot. So don't get overwhelmed. You will be able to sort through this. You will be able to feel the way forward, okay? So just trust that. I totally forgot I had these notes sitting right next to me. Okay, so that brings me to the 23rd on Sunday. This is when Saturn stations retrograde at 13 degrees of Aquarius. Oh boy, okay. This is a big deal. Saturn will station retrograde the 23rd on Sunday until October 10th, stations direct until January 10th, 2022 for the shadow. This is karma, okay? This is where you've got to draw a hard line boundary. Look back at your life. Okay. Also, let's see. The moon's going to be void, of course, for like most of that day. The moon's going to trine Mercury in Gemini, and then also trine Jupiter in Pisces after it moves into Scorpio. So look at how it's been for you with Saturn in Aquarius and see where you've built up structures in your life that are supportive of you, and how you can make those stronger and reinforce them and really reflect on them, and how they've served you and how your discipline has rewarded you. And you'll be seeing that. And then look at the structures in your life that you've created that further imprison you or make you feel like you are stuck or make you feel like you can't really move or breathe. Did you reinforce those structures? Because now you're going to realize it. If there were things in your life that you had put your conscious energy into that really did not serve you, and you're going to see it when you're going to see it. We're all going to see it. And it'll be your opportunity to really learn the lessons and really reflect, because this is also boundaries, the hard line boundary, where you will also reflect on where your boundaries were too soft and you just let something happen, or you let someone in, or you let something go a certain way because you didn't have the good boundaries. You'll realize that, and you're going to also realize where the boundaries were too rigid. Where did you put the walls up where nothing good can come in and nothing great can happen and nothing interesting can move forward? You're going to be assessing that as well. Karmically, this is a return of karma where fated things could come up for you in terms of some deep inner lessons that you've got to learn in regards to who you really are. Saturn in Aquarius wants to be appreciated for being themselves and being unique and being different. However, they will be different from society, from somehow. If you were born with Saturn in Aquarius, that's your Saturn return energy, where you will be challenged to truly be yourself, no matter what society says, and to release yourself of your own expectations to be accepted by society, and to not do things that are different for the sake of it looking different or being different. Because that's ego, and it's trying to sort of pander, I think is that word, pander to society, pander to what is salacious, or pander to what you think will make you popular. So Saturn stationing retrograde in Aquarius is really for you Saturn returners out there to really reassess, am I really behaving? Am I really being who I am and not what I think is going to make me popular, or what I think people want to see of me, or what I think is going to get me far in life, or what I think is going to be best for me? Am I really just honoring my own energies? Am I really taking responsibility for my own individual energy fields? And am I expressing that through my life? And am I building structures that support that?
Aquarius is all about ego and lies. He's going to stress test all the ways you feel unique to make sure you're not doing it out of ego gratification, because if you are, he's going to drag you and criticize you and you will fall. Or if you're lying about who you are.
So we will all be feeling this energy on in a different context, because Aquarius is going to rule different areas of our life. So if you have Aquarius on the 7th house and it's relationships, how do you feel towards your relationships? And you're going to be really reassessing to yourself, what are you, who are the people that are around you, and the ones that you talk to, the ones that you text and DM and communicate with on the internet, and talk to in person, on the phone. Every single energy field that you interact with, whether that's through a therapist, a best friend, a one-on-one partner, the public, clients, or whatever it is, are they reflecting who you are and your values? Or are you choosing these people for reasons that are not true to you, because you think that it looks good, or because you think that you'll be more accepted by the public, or because you think that it's going to get you more attention, or there's a relationship between you and your partners, and you and the public, and you and other people, that is going to be coming up for review. And you will be confronted with things that tell you and show you where you made the wrong partnership choices and why, and where you made the right partnership choices and why. So that's like one example. But there's like, for all the houses, wherever Aquarius is in your life, it's like, did you build this structure on a uniquely you foundation of your values and your value systems, regardless of what society says, regardless of whatever says? And this is why I want you to really consciously focus on seeing yourself floating in the universe, in the black universe, with all the stars all around you, alone, in peace, and happy. Release people of your expectations, because you don't want to be held to expectations. Release your father and your mother and your brothers and your sisters and your friends and your coworkers and your children and your grandparents. Release all those people from the expectations of what you want from them. Release it. Release yourself of your expectations of showing up to certain relationship. That's my showing up in your relationships and performing and delivering. Because when this is like self-care, self-nurturing, like the kernel of it, like the actual, the kernel of it. And when you really take care of that you, that baseline, foundational you, that truth, and you're okay with it, and you are your own father, and you give yourself confidence, and you tell yourself, I can do this. I can do anything I set my mind to. And you empower your masculine energies to be confident, not egotistical, confident in your skills, talents, and abilities. And when you mother yourself and you nurture yourself and you say, yeah. And so I'm going to be a German Oma, I swear someday. And you nurture yourself emotionally, and you hold space for yourself to feel pain when you need to feel pain, to purge out tears and emotions when you need to. And then you put a boundary on it. And then you go and you lick your wounds in private, or, whatever you do to make yourself feel better, and tell yourself, okay, you've learned this lesson. You've gotten the wisdom from it. Now these obstacles and challenges are going to go away because you've learned it. You've learned what you've gotten and what you've needed to learn out of these experiences, and you can let it go now. You nurture that self. You nurture yourself like a mother does, and you are your best friend, and you support your own ideas and careers and dreams for your life. And you are your own brothers and sisters and communities, and you are your own everything. And you supply all of that for yourself, and you focus on yourself. You focus on your unique energies and what you're here to do and what your real dreams are, because you were born with dreams for a reason. And when you cleanse the self of the ego and you cleanse yourself of the cognitive dissonance and you take responsibility for your healing, because you're not responsible for whatever bad happened to you. You're not responsible for the traumas and the pains of whatever happened to you. You are responsible for the healing. You are responsible for what you do next. That is Saturn. That is Sun trine Pluto, retrograde in Capricorn. That is the kernel of self-love and self-nurturing. And that is how you can see yourself floating in the universe totally alone and be totally okay with that, because you're connected to everything while maintaining your own independence as your spiritual, energetic signature. Then you can use manifestation techniques. Then you can manifest really big things for yourself. It's a long path. It's a long journey. It takes maintenance and upkeep and reminders. But it's what we all chose when we incarnated here. So we're all in this together. You, me, and the aliens. I love you so much. I am always here for you. You guys know that. I support your growth and your evolution and your empowerment. So much so. I hope you have a beautiful week. I will see you for the weeklies, for Wednesday psychic tarot reading. So sit with this, rewatch this, do this energy work again as you need to, because we do energy work. All my videos, we do this energy work. All the videos that you see is energy work. When you watch the news, when you watch your YouTube, when you watch your movies, all of that is energy work. So thank you for sitting through and doing this energy work with me here today. I appreciate your presence, and I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you supporting everyone else's evolution and understanding that everyone's on their own unique path and having real compassion for that. I love you, and I'll see you next week. I'll see you very soon. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.